Good morning and welcome to Winnipeg. Now I know a lot of you are sitting there with smiles on your faces because you were remembering what happened right here. And, well, I had asked you not to remember that, remember? Okay, this morning I came out and it was completely dry, and I took my vacuum cleaner and I sort of scrubbed it a little bit. I was amazed, the stain just came right out. I guess it's sort of the stain turned to powder and it sucked it up. I can hardly see where it was. I know where to look, otherwise you really don't know. Anyway, enough about that. Now, what I'd like to do today is I'm going to take the gloss clear and I'm going to spray these life rafts with the gloss clear, and then I'm going to try the Panaline accent color and see if I have better results in the grading that's in the top of those life rafts. Just sort of bring out the detail, because these life rafts that we're going to be putting on right now, they are going to be seen, whereas the ones we put on about a month ago, I guess, on the main hull, most of them are covered up with the catapult, unless I swing the catapult around, which I might do. We'll see what happens when it gets mounted in its case, 20 years from now at the rate things are going. Anyway, that's the plan, and then if I don't like the glossy look of it afterwards, then I'll spray over top of everything with the flat clear, just very lightly. And I was thinking, in order to make it easy for myself, and I do want to spray it, because I think that if I use the brush, I'm going to mix the 66 here with the clear. I think the clear will dissolve it and I'll just have sort of a muddy mess going on. So I'm going to spray it, and I'm going to leave my paint booth over there. I'll just see if I can swing you around so you can see where it is there. Okay, we're back. Anyway, that's the plan for today. Yeah. Oh, as far as the sunrise goes, it's cloudy and gray out there. There was no spectacular sunrise. I did see our walkers, and I did get a little bit nosy. And as I was sitting there, I just happened to see them at the time, and I zoomed my one camera right in, tried to zoom in on them. I don't feel comfortable about showing you that because, like I mentioned yesterday, it just sort of infringes on their privacy. Right now, there's a little bit of anonymity going on there, whereas if I zoom in on them, now granted, you can't see their faces, but still. I don't know if I used to go for walks a lot, and I don't know how I would feel if I knew that somebody was zooming in on me and putting me on YouTube every day. I don't think there's anything legally wrong with that, because if you do stuff out in a public place, well, you're doing it in a public place. You're gonna be seen, and we're living in a society that's surrounded by cameras. I mean, when I go into Superstore, the first thing that greets me is a camera and a screen that shows me coming in. Anyway. We don't want to get into legalities or moralities. Let's just sort of carry on here today, and I probably will not show spraying the clear. I'm just going to get right into it, get it over with, get it done. But we do got to get some of our little parts on, and yeah, we can drop them down, and then we'll be able to turn the page. We might be able to turn the page today. Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. Oh, you notice I got a different watch on, right? Let's see, can you see it? Sort of. It's my mechanical watch. It's almost useless for telling time, but it does keep good time. You just can't read it. It's a looker. It's not the kind of watch it's not a practical watch. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't know why I bought it. I guess I just wanted a skeleton type watch. You can actually see in the back of it. See, can you see that? Sorta. Okay. Yeah, I'm a mechanical guy. I like mechanical stuff better than electronic stuff, believe it or not, even though the electronic stuff is way more accurate. But there's something about mechanical stuff that I like because I can look at it and understand how it works. Sort of like these battleships. I look at them and I can sort of envision all the stuff on the inside, and I kind of have a fairly good idea how it works. I just don't know what the stuff is called, as you know. Anyway, let's just carry on here. Now, try and let me not forget about this, okay? Now, I did something a few moments ago that I don't think I have ever done before, and that is when I cleaned my airbrush, all I did was backflush. I backflushed about, I'm guessing, 6 times, 7 times, and I did not disassemble it, so I am hoping that I am not going to have a problem later. Yeah, I just want to see how this is going to go. Being as I just did the clear, it's really hard to clean an airbrush after you've painted with clear because you can't see, you can't see where the clear is. It's clear. Anyway, we got a little problem going on here, and I think maybe some of you might have picked up on it already. In that, I did not realize that these parts here, the L25s, I didn't know that they were actually gun tubs. And they're not supposed to. I was looking around on the deck. Where's the little place to plug them in or put them over, like a large peg, if you know what I mean? And it wasn't there, and so I studied the manual. Well, it turns out that this is supposed to. You notice on the top there, you can see that it's kind of shaped, and it's shaped the same way on the top right there. Well, it's supposed to go something like this. Now that means if it's like a gun tub, well, it's not for a gun. It's for one of those sights, one of these things. And then if I wanted to match everything else, I should have painted it the 19, not the 66. So I think what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to paint this with a brush. I might be able to use the rotator. Put it on like this. The bottom is already painted, so we don't need to worry about it. And just carefully paint it with the brush, inside and out with the 19. Put it in front of my fan. I don't mind using the heater in the winter time because it's kind of free heat. I know electric heat is a little more expensive than gas heat, but for every BTU the electric one is generating, that's 1 BTU less that the gas one has to generate. So I think you get my drift. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly go ahead and do that. I don't know if I will video painting these on the rotator. Well, why not? See if I can get it just right. Yeah, that was sure stupid. I should have noticed that, before. Now I can see what it is. Yeah, in fact, there's a little place on the inside there that this thing plugs down into. Oh, Ron. Now, for those of you who may have or are thinking of getting one of these, there's something you should know. Like before I got it, it did say something about the batteries will last all day long. And I thought, well, that's funny. They should last a lot longer than just all day. But what happened this morning was I went to push the stop button after my opening scene, and it wouldn't stop. And I thought, well, is it come disconnected somewhere? And well, no. So then when I tested the batteries, it turns out that they were down to around 1 volt, and so I replaced them. Now these are the new ones, and I was thinking, well, I have a plethora of AA batteries that are rechargeable, and actually I've got more yet back in the computer room, believe it or not. Yeah, when you're a tinkerer, you acquire stuff like this. Anyway, I think I'm going to start using the rechargeables. For those of you who have Z mount Nikon cameras, and maybe we're thinking of getting one of these things, just to let you know, it's a little bit hard on batteries. But, you know, it's not going to be a problem for me. I'll just use rechargeables. Okay, I just pulled this out of the garbage. This one is cracked. Won't hold vacuum anymore, but I don't think the crack runs up into the end here, and the little part that I like to keep as a cup for gluing. So we'll just nip that off here. And I've got another one here. Do the same thing. But I want to show you something. Let me get this snipped off first. Okay. Military modeler Paul had a really slick idea. Now normally what I do is I would take a piece of double-sided tape and I would put it on here, and then I would stick this thing down onto the tape. That's the way I've been doing it for what, 4 years? But what he did was he took a little block of wood, a little bigger than this, and he drilled out a hole the same size as the OD of this part, and then he could just plug this into the block of wood. And then there's less chance of it tipping over, and then when you want to change it, you just pull it out because it's sort of a friction fit type thing. And yeah, good idea, Paul. I hope you didn't patent that idea because I'm going to copy it. Now, there's only one thing wrong with that idea. I didn't think of it first. Now, this arrow doesn't have to be pretty. Just has to make a little mark. And the idea is, if you will remember, this is not centered. It has a slight wobble. So if I don't, let's say I had it on like that and drew my circle, and then when I took it off and put it on the other way, the wobble would be doubled. So the idea is, if I always have it pointing to here, like after I take it off, it's kind of loose here. So I'm wondering if this would work. Just sort of build it up here. I can always peel that off later. Is that going to make it a little tighter maybe? Maybe that's going to be too tight now. Yeah, maybe I should have something just a little thinner than that. Anyway, you get the idea. Wedge it down on here so that as this is rotating, and as I take my compass and adjust it out here, I'll mount one part on here so that this doesn't move in and out, and then just let it drag. I think that this point should make a mark on that upturned tape. That's the plan. I'm just going to go ahead and set up, and then we'll try it out. Okay, now we'll get one end in here where it's not going to move, and adjust this. I'm just sort of eyeballing it here. Okay, I gotta have a bigger diameter than that. Okay, let's just see if this is going to make a mark now. Yes, it did, but it is too small. So we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Oh, that's too much. I think about like that. Okay, here we go again. Now, is that going to actually be big enough? No, it's not big enough. Okay, I think you can see what we're trying to do here. That should be a very, what would you call it, a concentric mark? Yeah, I think we can get our little piece to line up. Just let me turn this off. Pretty well centered dead on here. You can see it better than me. Maybe not. Okay, let's just try that and see how does that look. It's off just a little bit, isn't it? That's close enough. Okay, I'll do that with the other one as well. Now the idea is that when I take this off, I can get it back on the same way. Yeah. I think it was the last pizza day. Somebody commented on this knife, and I said, in the next pizza day, if I remember, I'll tell you the story behind it. And this knife used to be my grandfather's, and he had Parkinson's really bad, and his one hand, I think it was his right hand, it shook quite badly. And what he used to like to do is he wanted to have a really sharp knife. So this was one of a set of, I think it was 8 or 10 knives. And he took this one and he would keep sharpening it and sharpening it and sharpening it until it became the shape that you see right now. And I can remember my grandfather using this when I was a little kid, like 5 years old, because I remember where I was the first time I saw it and how old I was when I was there. Anyway, what we got going on here is you might call it ham and pineapple, and the crust is just simply a piece of flatbread, nothing special. This is going to be it for pizza day. I know I said something about we'll probably be able to turn the page today, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. I keep constantly getting sidetracked, badly sidetracked. Anyway, ham and pineapple. I know people are going to be shouting, that's just simply wrong. You don't have pineapple on pizza. Well, I kind of like the combination. Not very often. Oh, and the ham, I think it's just canned ham, if I'm not mistaken. Nothing special here. The pineapple came out of a can as well. So let's just see. Am I going to have to fake the or is it going to be a genuine Let's see what happens here. Okay, I've got my arrow pointed the right way, and I've got my 19 shook up. This is sort of like turning pottery, isn't it? Alright, I think that will even out. I think that'll be okay. Some on the top there, maybe I missed. Kind of hard to tell. Okay, let's get the other one on. Now, before I forget to mention it, a little over an hour ago I got a phone call from somebody, and they're going to be coming over at 2 o'clock for coffee. Now, I got to remember to ask that somebody how the metal Yamato is coming. And if they're still interested in it. Because if they're not, well, there's somebody else that is. But it could be that he's going to come marching in and proudly display it. So who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, bottom line is here, I've got to, well, there's quite a bit on the brush there, isn't there? Bottom line is I've got to wind this episode up. Okay, we'll let that dry. I think that's going to be about as good as I can get it. You know what? I think that raggedness on the top, could that possibly be from the fact that it was stuck the other way around on this masking tape? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to call it quits here for this afternoon, folks. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.